All right, hello. I just got back from my 10-day trip with my son Kimball, and it's amazing how much clarity you get when you just stop working, you stop doing anything for 10 days, at least anything work related. And man, it always does such a good job for me to kind of recenter and focus back on what is most important. I'm listening to the book The E-Myth, and actually in that he talks about having the skinny guy and the fat guy, where when you have a lot of resolve and you're like ready to work out and you're ready to get going again, that's the skinny guy. And he stays with you for a couple days, but then you're like, why am I doing this? And then you fall back into your main routine. And I realized that while I I get I the same thing happens to me too, where I have all these great ideas, and then in practice I get pulled back to just regular life. And I don't know what the word to describe it is right now. One word could be gravity, but like society and the way that we live has a strong, there's a lot of inertia to it. There's a lot of inertia. It's just going a certain direction, and there's almost some gravity that pulls you in. So when I go out and I listen to good books and I'm clear on how I want to spend my life and what I think is important, you get back into the world where you're surrounded by all of these different messages, people doing a different thing, and you get pulled away from your focus, from your vision, right? So while I was gone, I was really mindful about how can I get rid of that, and that's what I wanted to talk about. So how can I get rid of my tendency to slip back into doing things the way that everybody else does things? And it made me think about a few things. Just look around, as I did on my flight home, look around at what people are doing on their phones. Man, a lot of people are on Instagram, or they're like consuming information. So if you're consuming information from a bunch of other people that are just living how everybody else is living, then it's going to be bad information. Society has always been wrong and pretty much been off the mark most of the time. Most of the time. Look back at 80 years ago. There's so many things that the world thought that just weren't right, and that's how it's going to be. In 80 years, they're going to look back to today and say, "Wow, those guys were so confused. They were so addicted to social media. They were so off the mark in whatever way." So how can we get back into our own, to where we stay true to our purpose? And a lot of me thought, I need to stop consuming information randomly. And I consume information randomly by getting on LinkedIn. Anybody that posts something can have access to my world. I consume information randomly by even checking my email, whether it's sales messages or whatever. If I have email on my phone, while I try not to live out of my email, I still see it a lot. So the two action items I took from that I started immediately, that I started a couple days ago, was I removed all email from my phone. I took my email addresses off, so I don't have email on my phone. We'll see how that goes. I'll let you know. And then I removed LinkedIn from my phone. I don't use Facebook on my phone, though I use it on my computer. I like Facebook. I don't use Instagram. I've never really gotten into it. We do a little bit with Venture anyway, but I'm just not interested in scanning through Instagram. So we'll see how that goes. But those are the two things that I did that I'm going to experiment with for at least 2 weeks, and then I will let everybody in on how that goes. So I want you to think about it. How much of your own energy do you have going in a certain direction, and how much of that, or how much do you just go along with the world and society? And I would think that a lot of us will do better if we have a lot more of our own energy and we're more deliberate with how we spend our time. So enjoy. I hope that's a good one. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you want to take the challenge with me, taking some LinkedIn off and getting rid of your email from your phone, please join in, and we'll see how it goes. See ya.